samples we have brought for you so that you see the rats. The heat, I think, is too much. You see they are hiding.
You are missing.
How many?
In here, I just brought some to show you what they are.
I've only seen one.
No, there are 4 in this box. There are actually 4. The heat was hot, so they heat.
But you think if
we've now multiplied them.
I have not.
They are underneath. In total, you have how many?
Yeah?
How many do you have now in Makele?
Here I have 4. I don't know how many are there. Buja kuduka now.
And you brought how many?
I brought 4.
No, from...
We bought 4.
They are not coming out. I only see one.
Now, these mice are actually, there are over 1,000 different types.
Okay.
Yeah, because although they even look the same, the ones used for vaccine, they are modified. They are genetically modified. They have some genes of human being.
Hey.
Because the normal ones, if you infect them with COVID, it doesn't make them very sick. So these ones are modified. So part of the lab animal house is to build that capacity in the country for us to pick this one and change it. So that one was for COVID. Now if we need one for HIV, we can construct one.
So you bought males and females?
Yes. We bought the license.
That's why.
So that we can multiply.
That's why they are producing children in our country.
Are they multiplying?
Yes. If you don't buy the license, you only use the one you bought, and
they don't.
Once they die, that's it. But these are the ones that we have. If I want now to work on Ebola,
but if
either we modify them.
You arrest some of ours, those ones.
No.
And you modify them.
By the way, like this one, these are which ones are yours?
The ones in
the local.
Those are rats. They are not mice. Those are rats. They are not mice.
Each of these costs how much? If you are to buy.
Now, when are we selling some of these
type of price
neighboring countries? Because
once we have established, but the neighboring countries have not yet developed their vaccine research and drugs. But our need is a lot, because for each experiment we will need like 150.
Now what are they eating?
They have their food.
Is it local food?
No, we can make it locally. The lab animal experts make the pellets which are special for this.
How much does it cost?
It will depend. It will depend on which mouse.
The original breed we bought at.
If you buy the original one, yes. But now, like these ones, I think they sell them at maybe 100,000.
100,000.
Because we have multiplied.
And the original cost 8 million.
Because each includes a license. So for you to multiply. If you don't have the license, you just get this one 100,000. But once it dies,
you buy them from where? Ours cost $12,000.
From US.
US.
That is a miss.
Let me tell you, when we don't develop our science, you can give up to 2,000 children jobs just to multiply these rats. You can give a lot of people jobs just by working with these rats. But because we don't appreciate it, we tuchiulira tuchivumirira buvumirizi. Mese. Zino si mese ziri waka. Zino mese za njawulo. Omuntu yena akirina. Nedda zino si mese nganda. Zino mese za njawulo nnyo, and this is a whole industry, multi-million-dollar industry. Kirungi ne tutegeera ekintu kye twogerako. Kati olwaleero nabaleetedde okubalagako emmese zaffe ezimu ze tukozesa mu lab. Zino mmese za njawulo nnyo, si mmese zaffe ze tulaba mu nnyumba. Ate ezo tebaziyita mice. Newankubadde nga zonna mmese ezo mu luzungu tuziyita rats, era biologically ziri different, ne species ya njawulo nnyo. Kati zino emmese ze tukozesa mu research yaffe. Bano baana zatuuka kati ate twandibadde tulinazo wano. Bano baana you multiply emmese ebeerawo emmese life span y'emmese is like how many months sagala kubawa data atali accurate but naye teweza mwaka kati zino tulina okuzimaintaininga era kati bono bwe babuzaayo tugenda kukola kyetuyita sacrifice tugenda kubuzaayo emmere yaazo eno simanyi oba waliwo abazikola wano sagala kulimba bannasayansi bennyina abazikola nabo bazikolera
English. English.
Just wanted to help Ugandans, especially the members of PAC, to understand what they are defending. So I brought this exhibit to just help Ugandans understand that what we are talking about are biological mice. These mice are very many different types, but they are special in that they are laboratory animals. They are raised in the lab. They don't actually survive outside. Like these ones, we have exposed them. Most likely when we take them back, they will not be able to survive. So we are going to sacrifice them.
These the ones that were born?
No, these are children. These are children. You can just check the lifespan of a mouse. So you must continuously maintain and multiply them. You must continuously multiply.
You talked about now you're selling them. How much are you selling them?
No, at the moment we are not selling because we don't have enough for our experiments. We just multiply for the experiments that we do. Multiplying means they breed and they produce young ones. For each research, we need about 200 for each project. So they have to produce and give us that many. So when we have expanded the capacity, then we will be able, this is an industry. Our children can participate in it.
You talked about employment.
And verified, and I think by that time they had already been put in the IFMS.
Why then are you asking for the accounts if they had already been
because there were so many projects, sometimes in the same institution, but with different accounts. We wanted to make sure that we guide the accounting officer not to send the money to a wrong account. So it was just to inform us that this is in defining the project, this particular project, we included that information, that this is this and this is the account which has already been vetted and verified. So we didn't want to receive accounts which have not been vetted.
Chair, on that. Mr. Chairman, if we want to take it that Dr. Musenere is right, that Parliament approved the budget, then how did you yourself single-handedly approve 54 million as addition? That's number one. Number two, if you are saying the accounting officer was involved...
Not only that, even where to pick it from.
And where to pick it from. And where that authority. And the two, Mr. Chairman, in that letter which is written, I see CC to Vice Chancellor, CC to University Secretary, CC to Dr. Wapende Edi. I don't see CC to Mukwaya, I don't see CC to Obong or PCC to PSST, because their names, it could have written to Obong and Mukwaya, but also I don't see the one PSC most. And you are saying the PS could be aware.
Honourable Minister.
Chair, this was a communication between Preside and the scientists.
But it involves Obong's money.
There would be a communication going to Mr. Bong once this information has been obtained.
Did you discuss this reallocation with Mr. Bong, who is the accounting officer? Did you write order, Honourable Nandala, Honourable Minister, the money is Obong's money. Did you write to him before issuing this?
No, I didn't write to him. I addressed that letter to him.
Who gave you the money, the powers to reallocate his money. 2, this agreement was between him, Obong, and the PI.
And me.
Let me now tell you, and I can tell you straight in the face. No, don't give me information. In this memorandum, do you know somebody we call ancillary? Just additional. You had actually no business in this memorandum because you did not have the authority anywhere to represent the government of Uganda in signing the agreement. I did not want to construe the agreement as fatal because of your presence, and it is not. But with or without you, this agreement would stand. Without Obong, there would be no agreement. Why? Because this money is given to the ministry, whose accounting officer is David or Obong. Now, you are doing all this. The owner of the money, the person who gave the money, that's why it never went through your account. And I've always agreed with you, contrary to the popular view here, that for you did not touch this money. The reason you did not touch this money is because you are not authorized. The signatory is Obong. Now you are here reallocating the money, you are approving changes without involving him. Dr. Musenero, who gave you the powers to tinker with and tamper with government funds.
Chair, that letter was addressed to the owner of the money, and he had a right to
Who
say
owns
no.
this money? Who
You
was
said
the owner?
the PS.
No, madam. This letter is addressed to Professor John David Kabasa, an IP, a contractor.
Which one?
We are talking about the letter which is in this Kavera, Annex 351A, the one we found in the middle.
Dated 31st August.
The letter of what?
No, all these, you read the letter.
The letter on
funding
31st.
for the project, the one that,
31st.
yes, I'm talking about the issues that is raised by Honorable Nandala, and Obong is nowhere in the picture. But even if it is,
okay.
even if you are
I
talking about
understand.
the other one, which is addressed to Obong, you are simply giving him instructions.
Chair, we had sat in a lot of meetings and agreed. There was even a meeting called by the, not president, by the Prime Minister, where the final budget was approved. It was called in that big hall.
Honorable Musenero,
And,
even when the Prime Minister has called a meeting on policy, the powers to do with money is the power of the Permanent Secretary.
Yes. And so this letter is actually written, I think even before, we are working in between, between me and the scientist. And then we'll present this to the Permanent Secretary.
The scientist has identified need for more money to complete a particular segment of the assignment. Why? Because the money originally planned is not enough. Where does the scientist go? The scientist goes to the owner of the money, and that's Obong.
Maybe
The
that
scientist
is a mirror.
runs to you. You also give the scientist assurance In other words, that's why these people were telling you you had usurped the powers of the accounting officer and became the accounting officer. Give information to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. On Annex 347, page number 8, Dr. Maxwell team noted that scientists seem to be moving along in state of funds being managed.
Wait, 347?
Annex 347.
35.
Annex 347. I want to add more weight on the question that you are asking.
Have you seen Annex 347? 347.